Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how the enemy's silence will always feel like confusion and chaos. A lot of us have been in places and spaces and around other beings and entities where silence was just extremely awkward and difficult. When the beings are not using their throat chakras, it is extremely awkward and uncomfortable. We understand that when we're in our spirit realm and we're communicating outwardly to somebody and we stop talking, I'm just gonna say in person because it's a little tricky being in like awkward silences on the phone when you can just get the fuck off the phone, once you get to that space. But I just want to keep this refrain to in person. So what's going on in your spiritual realm when you are sitting around somebody and the silence becomes awkward. The silence only becomes awkward because there are two different agendas on hand. You have what you going on and you trying to connect with this being, and then this being has all their shit going on, and then they're also trying to figure out how they can get what they want from this over here. You know what I'm saying? So, and it doesn't really have any concern with how you feel. It's by any means necessary on their side of the spectrum. And to me, even when I was around like homeboys and shit, like, and we all sitting around and vibing, or we was riding somewhere and then, the music goes off and it's like, it's weird space to where is no communication, or, it goes to some low vibrational conversation. But then you have the other ones, like your parents and things, like when you communicating with them in their spaces, and it's really weird when your parents do it because you feel as if though like you open the portal for me to get here. My genetics is connected to you, and this shouldn't feel awkward. I remember one time it was like such an awkward space with me and my moms that like even me trying to hug her felt really uncomfortable just because we don't exchange energy like that in that kind of manner. You know what I'm saying? Like I always talked to my mom for a long time. It's just I got to a space to where there was no more of me compromising me with her. That was my stronghold. So for me, my mom's was a stronghold for me. But we all still deal with other beings. And it's like, it doesn't matter what space you in. I don't care what frequency you on. If you're in the Western world, you are going to experience it. I see teachers discussing and talking about shit that they're still going through. Then you have the lower teachers, which I would put myself in as well, which are discussing and talking and experiencing. Then you got the other beings who aren't in front teaching outwardly, but the ones around them who are still experiencing and going through. Then you got the other beings who aren't teaching. They're just kind of living their life and they're experiencing this shit. So that's when I try to get to the point of understanding and being able to even teach my many, like the spiritual realm controls and dictates this physical realm. So when I'm riding in a car with somebody and let's say like we get to a dead space, like out here in Virginia, you're gonna get to plenty of spots where it is no antennas or services at. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna lose service. When you lose service, it should be a comfortable silence with you and your being, or you and your homeboy, you and your whoever is in your motherfucking space. It should be comfortable. You know what I mean? But that usually is not the space. Usually as soon as that awkward, that break happens in the music or the video or whatever was going on while the ride was happening. I'm just using ride per se because that's where I'm at right now. Stick any example you want to in there. And as soon as that happens, it shouldn't be awkwardness. You should be able to open up, communicate, and engage without feeling as if you're about to force conversation. You know what I mean? And a lot of us are forcing conversations. You know, a lot of conversations are getting forced. You know, we're giving and exaggerating like large amount of energy just trying to get a better understanding of why is this space confusing with you? You know, why does it feel chaotic with you? Why when I engage with you, I feel like there is not a straight line. It's just like this all over the place. And for us that's highly empathetic, we use our sensories and our feelings to navigate through other beings, how we are able to put ourselves in other beings' shoes. Because I know for me, when I'm dealing with other beings, I'm able to listen to what they're saying attentively. I have 2 ears to listen. I know how to piece the words together and their definitions on how they're trying to piece them together. I take in the energy that they're also using to present it with as well. And then I take in the emotional state that they're in when they're also giving it. You know, all of these things go into account when processing these beings. So for me, if you're communicating with me outwardly using your throat chakra, then if you're not using your throat chakra, I'm still able to process, and most of us are still able to process your energy and what's going on in there. It's not that difficult, but it does get frustrating because you do run into so much of it. And I think that's where we all get into this space of trying to beat ourselves down and then rework ourselves up. More like, all right, we got to get stronger. We got to get better. We got to get stronger. We got to get better. Yes, we do. But we also have to take a time to just breathe and go, it is a lot of oppositions out here. It is a lot of oppositions out here. So everywhere you turn, you damn near going to be battling somebody, you know? So and taking it far is into dealing with your spouses. You know, if y'all are in living spaces, or if you're going to visit your person or whatever, like when you are having these awkward silences, you two are not on the same page spiritually. You are not on the same page spiritually, whether it's a certain topic at hand or whether it's the overall picture. You are not in accord with each other. And when you understand, like, all right, well, I'm going for as much clarity as I can, but this other being isn't being clear. Or you in your space silently, they're in their space silently. You having clarity in your space, you may be having your own stuff going on in there, but you have clarity. You like, all right, this person punched me here, I gotta fix that. All right, I messed my car up there, I gotta fix that. Like, it's clarity, you know what I'm saying? You're not like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But when you go over into this person's space and it's silent, you can feel how uncertain it is. You can feel how untrustworthy it is. You can feel how this energy just, it feels like it's pathologically, I want to just say not there instead of lying. You know, you can feel that this person is hiding something. You know the things that you have within you, and you know the certain things you allow to come out and you communicate outwardly when people get to a certain level or certain steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the first step, you're not going to tell somebody this portion about you, but maybe when they get to the 5th or 6th step, you know, I done went up a couple steps. Now you can, all right, boom, you made it here, I can give you this information. All right, you make it up to here, all right, boom, now I can give you this other information of me. But these other beings, they have different agendas. That's why their silence never feels good. That's why it's always awkward and uncomfortable. And that's why you're like, why can't I ever have any comfortable silences? Or why can't we ever just be quiet and be comfortable around each other in each other's space and shit like that? Because this motherfucker is probably working some shit against you. They are probably working some shit against you. That's why you're gonna always have these awkward silences. That's why it's always gonna be confusion in the spirit world when you're trying to connect with them non-verbally. We connect all the time non-verbally, all the time. So when you're actually trying to reach somebody and there's nothing to grab onto, it does frustrate you a little bit, you know? Because we are human beings, you know, we are having this experience. So for me, I just always try to keep in mind, it's a lot of oppositions out here. You may be teaching on a whole nother level and you still got fucking 5 demons around you. You know what I'm saying? You may not even be teaching and just going through life and you still got 10 demons around you. I know people don't like to use these words, so just use witchy. They some witchy motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Their energy, when it's silent, it feels manipulative. I feel like you're trying to manipulate my energy silently. Like, why are you projecting this weird energy for me to feel tensionally? You know, instead of going into your spiritual space, your spiritual space, and if you're really wanting to be in a space with somebody, then you would be building towards the future, not future faking. You would be building towards it, and it would be showing. It would be showing. It would be felt. It would be heard. But these things are not happening because they are doing too much weird shit in the spiritual realm. So when you do that much weird shit in the spiritual realm, you have to reap what you sow. You can plant an opioid seed or you can plant a cucumber. Both them motherfuckers is gonna grow, depending on how you take care of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's no more trying to avoid what's going on in the spiritual realm. When all that shit is happening, it's uneasy and it feels sneaky and all covert and shit. You just have to know that they're doing that shit intentionally. You know, you can be a stronger spirit and fight the other entity that's pushing you to make these other suggestions, but it takes a lot of work. And most of them, that's where they receive their power from. Their artificial power that's only temporary good here, and they have to live with all this suffering in their spiritual realm. That's why it's hard to connect. How are you going to connect with somebody silently when they're just only suffering? You know, you living in the present and in the future, and then they're living in the past and in the past, and then occasionally the future for entertainment and distractions, but most of their time spent is in the past. The very little time they spend in the future is how they are going to destroy and manipulate and tear down the next being or whoever the fuck is in their space at the current time. You know, we out here fighting against the opposition, so if we have to fight 20 times harder, if they don't want to be on the disgusting witchy team, then they have to fight 50 million times harder than the other ones of us who have just been fighting only 20 times harder, because we are fighting against all of this shit already. You know what I'm saying? So silently, you just have to understand that's just a non-verbal usage of your throat chakra. You know, we communicate with babies all the time. It's been plenty of situations. Matter of fact, you got sports. You know, a lot of things happen engaging, and it doesn't have anything to do with words being exchanged. You know, using your throat chakra. It's all spiritually. You on these teams and shit, they spiritually trusting you to do your part. You know, but when you in these awkward spaces with these people, and it starts to get silent, it's because they not trustworthy beings. How they gonna expect you to trust them and they don't trust themselves? Unless they just are some super demonic witchy motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Which we already know we outnumbered right now as far as matrix-wise. Matrix-wise, we are outnumbered. As far as outside the matrix, I wouldn't say that. But as far as inside the matrix, I'm in the matrix. I'm fully in this shit over here, you know, so fortunately and unfortunately. But yeah, I ain't want to run it up too long. Just be mindful of the silent war, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to use your throat chakra to be able to feel and connect with other beings. But you can use certain things to elevate it, you know what I'm saying? So let's just keep these tools and tactics in mind, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things that you do feel do be real, you know what I'm saying? If somebody's being honest and genuine, you know, you're not gonna feel all this witchy manipulation, distrustworthy, unloyalty shit coming and spewing from their spirit, from their energy. You wouldn't feel that. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to do a better job at trusting your own feelings and sensories. Even if that shit may seem a little over the top, then if they was fucking flowing this way over here, you wouldn't be getting that sensory overload over there, because that shit wouldn't be activated. It wouldn't be activated because the other sensories is too far over on the other side. It wouldn't be activated. It's not how it happens. It's not how it works, you know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.